So today we're going to talk about patterns with functions. We're looking to see how do we get from our x values to our y values. In this first example, it looks like we're going to multiply our x values by 4 in order to get our y values. So then let's look at our second example. So to get from our x values to our y values, it appears that we are adding 5 to each of our x values in order to get our y values. So then let's try to write these as equations. So if I'm multiplying by 4 here, I'm going to multiply 4 times x, or just 4x. Over here, because I'm adding 5 to my y value, I'm going to have x, and then we're adding 5 to that value in order to get y. So let's try when we have multiple choice. So in this first one, it says to determine the y value, and then it asks us, is it A, B, or C? So let's try A first. It says add 3 to the x value. So negative 3 plus 3 does equal 0. So let's try 0 plus 3, because that rule has to work all the way down the table. 0 plus 3 does not equal 1, so we are not adding 3. So this is wrong. Alright, so now let's try subtracting 3 from the x value. Negative 3 minus 3 does not equal 0. So this one is also wrong. Alright, so then it must be C, but let's just make sure. So it's asking us to divide by 3 and add 1. Negative 3 divided by 3 is negative 1, plus 1 is 0, so that is accurate. Let's see if it works for the other ones. 0 divided by 3 is 0, plus 1 is 1, so that works out. 3 divided by 3 is 1, plus 1 equals 2. 6 divided by 3 is 2, plus 1 is 3. And 9 divided by 3 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So it appears that C is the correct answer here. So to write that as an equation, we're going to write x divided by 3, and then we're adding 1 to it. Alright, so let's go to our second example. It says, let's try subtracting 3 from the x value. Negative 2 minus 3 does equal negative 5, but we need to check all of them. 0 minus 3 does not equal negative 1. It's negative 3, so that one does not work out for us. Alright, so let's try adding 1. So negative 2 plus 1 equals negative 1, not negative 5. So then it has to be C, and let's just make sure. Alright, so it says multiply the x value by 2 and subtract 1. So negative 2 times 2 is negative 4, minus 1 does equal negative 5. So let's see if it works down here. 0 times 2 is 0, minus 1 is negative 1. 2 times 2 is 4, minus 1 is 3. 4 times 2 is 8, minus 1 is 7. And 6 times 2 is 12, minus 1 is 11. So that one ends up being correct. So then as an equation, we're multiplying x times 2, so 2 times x, and then subtracting or minusing 1. We can also represent the given equation as a table or a graph. So this is kind of the opposite. We went from table to equation. Now we're going to go from equation to graph. And to do that, we're going to use our graphing calculator. So here our equation is y equals 3x, and they want negative 2, 0, 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to go in here, we're going to go to our y equals, and we're going to put in 3x, that was our equation. And then we're going to go to our table, so second graph. And then they're looking for negative 2, 0, 1, 2, and 3. So negative 2 I'm going to have to scroll up for. So negative 2 is across from negative 6, so that's one of our answers. We have 0, which is across from 0. 1, which is across from 3. 2, which is across from 6. And 3, which is across from 9. So we're going to go back to our notes and type in those answers that we just found out. Alright, so then for number 2, our equation is 2x plus 3. So let's go back to our calculators. We'll go back into our y equals, clear this out, and type in 2x plus 3. And then let's go to our table. And they want negative 1. So negative 1 is across from 1. 0 is across from 3. 2 is across from 7. And 3 is across from 9. So we're going to go write those in our table. Alright, so then last one. Y equals 1/3 x plus 4. So we're going to go back to our calculator. Let's go into our y equals, clear it out, and then let's put in that equation. So to get a fraction, alpha, y equals 1, and we have 1/3 x plus 4. And again, second graph to go to our table, and they want negative 3. So we're going to go up. So negative 3 is across from 3. 0, which is across from 4. 3, which is across from 5. And then 6, which is across from 6. So let's go fill in our tables. Alright, so then the other piece of this is filling in our graphs. So in order to do that, you just hit graph, and there's your picture. So go ahead and draw that picture right on this graph. And then go back, and we're going to go back and put in 2x plus 3 and graph that one as well. So there's our picture for 2x plus 3. So go ahead and draw that graph right on this graph right here for 2x plus 3.